Like, in a lot of ways, you could honestly argue, man, this is like cut content from the main show. It's not, but it is, yeah, I guess a shame that we didn't see this earlier. But it definitely will make rewatches of the main show more interesting. It is true. How are you supposed to be the fucking beacon of humanity if you look like an asshole? Damn. The nipple lasers are something. The nipple lasers, you know, you thought the naval cannon from the one kid is wild until you see this. That is my living hell right there, having to deal with both of them at the same time. Like, you may not like to admit it, like, they are absolutely practically useful together, but they are the worst. He's already a bundle of energy on a good day. Mike is a bundle of migraines. Add in both of them screaming at the same time, just fucking kill me now. Just kill me now, bro. Thank you, Father, for the meal we're about to enjoy. Lord in heaven. What else do we gotta thank here? Praise Satan. We'll thank them all. We'll just cover all our bases. Knew it was coming, but, you know, in a lot of ways you could argue Vigilantes is making up for a mistake of the main series, and that is not showing Aizawa's and Kurogiri's backstory within the main show. But, and I do agree, it almost does feel like cut content, but I thought it was emotional as it was in the main show, just because if you have any empathy for a character, seeing them say, here's a fallen friend, look at what they've done to him, you're gonna feel something. But yeah, I mean, if I had the ability to do over the release schedule for My Hero, and I could keep the main final seasons as high quality as they came, would I have plopped Vigilantes somewhere after? I don't know exactly when, but maybe before the endgame happened? Yeah. I think it would have hit all the harder. But I mean, hey, I guess we could say better late than never. Wasn't expecting a 3-parter Aizawa backstory. That was probably going to make me shed a tear. Next week is going to hit hard. But man, I can't get over how good Aizawa's character has been. You would never look at him and think, oh, he used to struggle. But I mean, that's the brilliant thing about the teachers and the students and seeing them rise up. Fucking amazing content. If you got this far in the video, though, you know what to do. Drop a like, share your support, subscribe, ring that bell, and yes, Patreon, full live reactions and exclusives do live over there. It does help fund the channel and videos just like the one you're watching. I mean, there was definitely a lot of humor in this episode. I think Mike's always been a funny guy, but when you see arguably the yin to his yang, them just blasting, oh Jesus. Though I will say, am I the only one who got Dragon Ball vibes when seeing this character? I mean, it almost felt like it was pulled straight from Dragon Ball Daima. I thought it was a cool ability too, and honestly, it's a very interesting way to get him on the goggles train, because as we know, Aizawa's ability is that of you gotta look at your opponent in order to remove their quirk. If a character has an ability that messes with your visual perception, I mean, yeah, you're gonna be shit out of luck. So by passing the goggles, which not only is an emotional heart sting, because, well, best friend also wears those goggles, and we know how that lasts. And then seeing that, I thought it was really nice. And I think by having a mentor like Purple be the man to help push Aizawa out of his comfort is really effective, because dude is so nonchalant, dude is so casual, and then here's this like flamboyantly intense personality doing some Michael Jackson dances while striking some JoJo poses, and he's like, bruh, you are absolutely wrong. You are not happy, you're not smiling, what is wrong with you? And he's like, like, he's just so fucking awkward, and it's just great, because if you're gonna fucking take a sledgehammer to our nuts later on with what happens with their whole childhood, I mean, yeah, you gotta give me some wholesomeness in the meantime, too. I really like this, though. I think they've done a really great job at making it still feel like My Hero Academia, but clearly doing its own thing. I think there's very few cases of here's this main popular series, and then here's a different author, a sub-story within the same universe, but not really stepping on the toes, that does it well. And to be honest, I think pretty much all the Attack on Titan spin-offs did that well. There was a manga series that lasted, I forget off the top of my head, but it was before the main series. There's a lot of novels that help flesh out some stuff. And I think it did very good to add into the enjoyment of the main Attack on Titan series. But I would say Vigilantes is one of the rare handfuls that also did that, because it still feels like My Hero, but the formula and everything is so different than that of Deku's story. And yeah, it helps because we're not in superhero high school that then turns into the end of the world. We're focusing on more teenage-oriented characters and a lot of the adult characters, which does, in return, allow us to have stuff like these flashbacks, which then, in return, aids in characters we do know from the main show, but it doesn't step on the lore or how they explain things in the main series. I don't know if Buddy, who wrote this, because I don't think Horikoshi wrote Vigilantes, if I'm not mistaken. Maybe I'm wrong here, but if this was a different author, I'm not sure if they talked with Horikoshi or just were really good at what they did, but either way, I'm impressed. You know, it's like watching a train. You feel like, in theory, you could get off the tracks, but we can't. We know it's going to run us over, but we got to enjoy it, because I remember my feelings when Mike and Aizawa walked into that interrogation room. And I was like, man, that fucking sucks. Because, yeah, I liked both characters. But, I mean, I guess if I put myself in the perspectives of, say, like, people really hated Mike or really didn't really fuck with Aizawa that much, the later stuff in the main show probably was just like, oh, that's interesting, that's a twist, but I'm not emotionally devastated. I did feel devastated for him, though, but I guess it's probably because I really liked their characters. So by having stuff like this, I think even those people that may have been indifferent or maybe didn't even fuck with it at all probably would. It's hard, though. It is. I mean, all I'm gonna say, though, is I did have one person last week get mad. They're like, you spoiled it on me! And I assume they just haven't watched the main show, which, hey, I don't think you have to watch the main show to watch Vigilantes. I've even told some of my viewers that they could. But at the end of the day, I'm spoiling stuff that happened years ago. Like, of the main show, right? Like, yeah, I'm sure for some people I have, and I'm sorry to be the bearer of bad news that Buddy doesn't make it, but this is stuff that's already been revealed in an anime release, not manga release, you know what I mean? So it's like, I'm not gonna tiptoe on details I already know, and I feel like even Vigilantes is like 95% of the audience also is gonna know it at this point, right? Good stuff, though. I mean, production on point. I wish we could have saw his reaction to learning that the world ended up censoring her. Not that I think, like, he was sexually attracted to her or, like, would have been like, damn, I don't get to stare at this high schooler anymore. I think he would have just been very upset because how dare you censor someone's personality? And I think that would have been really funny. Either way, I feel like the pussy pics stop after this episode. And of course, I'm talking about the kitty cat, you sick freaks. I don't know. You let me know your thoughts down below. I'm loving this. I mean, it is what it is. Vigilantes isn't as popular as I think it deserves to be, but you know what? You know I'm going to keep fucking with it. Let me know your thoughts down below, though. Drop a like, share your support, subscribe, ring that bell, and yes, you know, a Patreon. Full live reactions and exclusives do live over there. Okay, I love to give those video shoutouts to my patrons because they make it all possible over here. So today we got Just Why, One-Eyed, I Am Here, fucking timed that brilliantly, Alexis A, Alex Jackson, Crystalline Harris, and we also have No Name, No Face. So I appreciate the support. Please take care, and y'all have a good one.